take it on unless Krisha has something else to begin.
No, we can. Amanda, I made you co-host, so you have screen sharing capabilities if you need to. And then after that, we can just do introductions and what's going on.
Hello, good morning, everyone. My name's Amanda Hammonds. I am currently an SUD therapist with Bright Life Mental Health and Recovery Services. I don't have a presentation available. We went with Cucumber Company, and they are doing a lot with the details with the website and our brochures, and all that is still very much in the making. Our website is up now under brightlifemhs.com. So that's brightlifementalhealthservices.com. You can view it there to see what services we offer. We currently have over 30 counsel contractors, and we have 2 peer recovery coaches. We have partnerships with local organizations offering our services within. Some of the services that we offer through counseling are individual, couples, and family services. So one of the really special things that I think we're doing right now is play therapy. It's been a proven best practice with children in mental health, especially coming from secondary impacted families. We also offer recovery groups at several locations right now. One is the Pine Haven Homeless Shelter in Raleigh County. We offer groups with the Raleigh County Day Report and Drug Court with April. April Clark is working over there as the peer coach right now, and in Fayette County Drug Court. We also do community outreach and referral with other partnered organizations. So our goal really is to connect in a patient-centered relationship so that we see what that patient needs and then connect them to local resources all over the area with partnerships that we've made. We've been open since January, however, open for services in August. So our location is actually 221 George Street in Beckley, West Virginia. And we are opening separate locations. We can cover anywhere in West Virginia, of course, with telehealth services and some in person. We're really excited. Sharon Smith, that's worked with the state for over 20 years, opened this organization. She's really excited about it because she gets to finally make the rules about how we deal with patients first rather than any other standard. So that is the exciting part, and it's really innovative. So we found that when you empower your individuals to be entrepreneurs, to be individuals on what the services are that they offer, and furthering their education and giving them opportunity to go build relationships, that you really have a lot of people out there doing the work that they've always wanted to do without a lot of constraints. So I just want to say it's a really wonderful place to work. When you're going to make a decision, and this is not that I'm trying to poach anyone by any means. I hope that that's not the impression that I'm giving, but I'm very grateful to be working with her and with the individuals we work with, because when this started, the entire idea was, how do we focus on just the patients rather than, what the entire organization is wanting from each person. And I'm very unrestricted, which allows for me to grow endlessly. I love working with the population that I'm working with right now. And when we say mental health and recovery services, we find that either an individual has began with, the underlying mental health issue, which has then led to addiction, and hopefully we can encourage recovery, or vice versa. An impact of addiction has led to some mental health issues that need to be discovered. So I'm really happy to be here today. I can share our website with you, and I can share our Facebook, and I hope that you all go and like it and check it out. And I wanted to open the floor for questions about that.
Okay, I have a question. So what population is it, that you the majority of your population that you work with personally? Is it people who are unhoused? Is it?
So I started out in peer recovery, and I've done that for 7 years. I moved directly into SUD therapy. So, according to Medicaid, that allows me to work for people that are directly impacted, either searching for services with MAT and or are already on some type of medicated assisted treatment. And I find that population varies. Honestly, I work with individuals that have had sustainable employment and, healthy families for years. And I also work with individuals that have been unhoused and impacted directly by, some of the economic strains that we're facing. I really could not tell you that there's a direct population for that. So it's really mind opening, actually, for me to see how many people have been impacted by the opioid epidemic. So I think that's really my passion. I think that we're coming through it. I would hate to jinx us, but I'd say we have a moment to breathe now, where a lot of individuals are seeking services after addiction and moving into recovery. And I'm really grateful to be serving that population. We actually have an event coming up that we just partnered with Sage and Lila Company. I'm not sure if anyone here knows Samantha Phillips, but she does some wonderful things through Sage and Lila with outreach to the recovery community. We partnered up with them for what's called Outreached Hands on October 7th. We'll be set up in Raleigh County at the Word Park location, which is the fountain that's next to the DHHR. We'll have everything from haircuts, women cosmetologists and male barbers, some food, some fellowship, hopefully some music. If I can get somebody to come out there. It's up in the air right now. But really just a welcoming event. When we talk about the population of individuals that have mental health and or suffer from substance use, I talk about me. I talk about a lot of you. And I want the individuals that are still stuck outside of services to realize that these services incorporate them as human beings, as people, and that we've all somehow been impacted by what's happening, either economically, with the pandemic that came through. Mental health was on a rise because of that, or of course the epidemic with the opioids. So it's really just a welcoming event. Grateful that you're here. Everyone's welcome from any walk of life. So I hope that you guys can come out, and I'll also share that flyer with you, Dominique, so you can send it out to your listserv.
That would be great. This sounds like a really exciting event. I can't wait. I'll definitely be there.
Thank you. Yes, any organization is welcome to set up at this time. Again, it's October 7th. We were kind of working out a little bit of funding to see where and what we had. And then our main goal was to make sure that we corralled these barbers and these cosmetologists, because haircuts was a really important part of this. But this is only one of several of these events that we're going to be doing through the colder season. Of course, it'll change from haircuts to more focus on warm hands, soup, gloves, blankets. We're doing a couple of drives right now. St. Stephen's Church is a drop-off location, and then there's a church location in Fayetteville that's drop-off for blankets, warm hands, and gloves. And both of those locations are listed on the flyer.
That does sound really fun. Does anybody else have any questions for Amanda? Okay, well, thank you so much, Amanda, for sharing what you do and, obviously your passion. I think, recovery and reentry and all of that it's a lot of it is really bound together. And I think that, your resource can definitely help a lot of people.
Thank you, Dominique. And I would like to offer for you to come and present at our location. I know that there had been some talk last year about a reentry simulation. And if that is still a thing, I would love to be a part of it if you would have me.
That would be more of a cruise ship. Yeah.
Yeah. Dominique, you
Hi,
go speak to
Lisa.
her. Hey, Amanda. I put my email address over in the chat. So if you want to email those flyers to me, and then send me some ideas of dates of when you want to do the reentry simulation, and I'll let you know what all it entails. It's quite it's a big undertaking, and a lot of people are involved. So send me some information, and we'll figure out what we can do.
You know, even if it takes planing and then first of spring just to get our feet wet, what counties were you thinking about focusing on with that, with Raleigh or Fayette?
Probably Fayette, but I'm not sure. I mean, we'll set up another meeting and we'll talk and get some ideas going, and I'll explain, how many volunteers we need, how many people we need to actually participate to make it a successful day.
Sure. Yeah, I know that it is huge. Actually, I was just thinking that it's very much needed. Dominique, and I know many of you are familiar with, breaking stigma in a community, and when office changes and population rolls over, economic development happens, and all these changes in our society, you think, well, I've educated everyone and I've spoken to them about the services that are available, and I've broke stigma by giving them opportunity to understand the population that they're serving. And then, 3 years pass and you have to do it again because there's this brand new population of individuals that are not aware of, some of the information that breaks stigma. And when I say breaking stigma, I truly feel like that's truly just education. Like it's misinformation when someone has stigma. In my eyes, anybody's mind can be changed if they're given enough information, and that reentry simulation is just a huge thing to do that, especially having people in office walk through there and understand how difficult it is to get from one end of town to the other when there's this one bus route, and then you have a time to report here and so on. So I love that you guys do that, and thank you so much for having me share today.
Well, let's
Well, thank you so much, Amanda. I really appreciate that. Does somebody have a question? Okay, well, we can go ahead and go around and introduce ourselves if you guys want to. Krisha, did you want to start? And then I'll go and we can kind of go down the line.
All right, that sounds good. So I think everyone here knows me. I'm Krisha Spears from the Reach Initiative. I host all 21 reentry councils that we have. So sometimes I forget, who I'm meeting with. But there's just, we do great things, and that's what we are here to do, is build a community and share resources about what all is available. So Amanda, thank you for presenting today and sharing what's available in your community. The only thing, I think the deadline is passed on this, but the Leading for Justice Summit is in January. So if anybody's interested in presenting to that, if the link is expired, let me know and I can reach out to Lida. But we're looking for presenters for that. And then on Thursday, this past week, we had a meeting for our community partners that the Reach Initiative has started a new program to pair our Reach Back Reentry navigators with a community health worker. So our navigators have lived experience. They've been incarcerated. They faced all of the barriers and challenges and have gone through a curriculum developed by faculty at Fairmont State University. And so we're pairing one of those navigators to help them, how do you get your birth certificate and your IDs, and how do you find employment and housing and get to all of your meetings and whatever it is you need to do. And we're pairing that with a community health worker. And the community health workers are from Coalfield Health, and they help navigate the social determinants of health and what it's like to come out of incarceration with a chronic disease, and how do you manage those things that you don't know how to get your prescriptions filled, and you don't know what it's like to see a local physician other than what's assigned to you while you're incarcerated. So the two of them are working together as people are coming out of incarceration to build that trust and to help them be healthier and live more successful lives and reduce recidivism. So it is a pilot program that we're doing Lincoln, Logan, Mingo, Boone, McDowell. I think that's it. And so we're funded by the Benedum Foundation and Marshall University. So we're tracking everything and through Red Cap, so it will be HIPAA compliant. And so we're starting this to see how this program works. And last week we had a meeting with all of our community partners and who needs to be at the table and what payers are working on it, you know, so that we can work to become maybe Medicaid billable. So that's what we're working on. And that's all I've got for now. So Dominique, back to you. And
Well, thank you.
you're welcome.
I think that, I don't know, maybe most people might know me. I'm Dominique Marcus. I'm the chair of the Raleigh County Reentry Council. I'm also a peer recovery coach at Veltec's recovery group in Mount Hope. It's a treatment facility for women. We have 60 beds, and I think we're about half full. So if anybody has anything to send our way, they're more than welcome. We take people with ankle bracelets, on home confinement, on probation, all of it. Also, I also sit on the advisory board for the RCO, and I am the director for the Another Chance Harm Reduction and Outreach. April McAllister and I started that, and we're working on becoming a nonprofit. So if anybody needs anything to do with harm reduction, always got Narcan, intramuscular. We've got everything that anybody who is unhoused or living on the streets may need. And I'm also the county organizer for Save a Life Day again this year. It's on September 26th for Raleigh County. Well, it's for everywhere. It's every state east of the Mississippi, and then a couple states that are west of the Mississippi are also going to be involved in that. And then we have Healing Appalachia coming up. I'm sure that some of you are going to be there. And then there's another event coming up October 3rd. It's the Coalfield Community Health Fair. It'll be at the Raleigh County Convention Center. And that's on October 3rd. And I believe that's all for me. I'll go ahead and pick Jacqueline Taylor. Never mind. I think I saw in the chat that her mic is not working. Okay, let's move on. Bonnie Helvey.
Hi, good morning. My name is Bonnie Helvey. It's rare to have two Bonnies on the call, but there are. I'm with Indivior. I'm the Criminal Justice Access Director, and my primary focus is to work with patients that are incarcerated or coming out of incarceration with their transition of care when it comes to OUD. We are Indivior is the manufacturer that makes Sublocade. However, I'm really just helping people with MAT in general. So if anyone needs anything, please reach out. And I will go with Bonnie with a Y.
Thank you, Bonnie with an IE. I am Bonnie Copenhaver. I'm the president of New River Community and Technical College, and we, of course, are all y'all's education partner for any of the clients that you serve in any capacity. New River has already started fall semester, but we do have a rolling start program for students who are a little late deciding that they want to come to college. And those classes start on Monday, so it is not too late if you know of anybody that wants to come to school. And I think, Dominique, I'm up next month to talk. Is that still correct?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So I look forward to presenting next month about some specific work that we're doing in the prisons in the region that we serve. And I'll call on Seth.
Hey, good morning, everybody. My name is Seth Hansen. I'm the Partnership Development Manager for Groups Recover Together. We're an outpatient opioid use disorder treatment program with 7 locations across the state. We do have one in Beckley, there on Robert C. Byrd Drive. Wanted to let everybody know that we have an open house member appreciation event next Tuesday, the 23rd at our office. feel free to stop by, and we should have some community resources there and some light refreshments. So, thank you. Let's go with Wes.
Hi, thank you. My name is Wes Hoffman. I'm here with Philip Michael on the call, and we're both coordinators for the PROUD program, and PROUD stands for Partners for Reentry Opportunities and Workforce Development for West Virginia workforce. And what we're here for is to help folks that are reentering the community with work and training opportunities, and not just to get a job, but to start thinking about, providing and something sustainable, something that's going to be something that they can support themselves and their families with. And we can work on that in tandem with training. There's plenty of programs out there that we could get them into. We have some money for training. We can do individual training accounts for individuals looking for really anything that's qualified by ONAD as being a growth industry. We can also provide them with fiscal responsibility classes, bring your A game. We know a lot of people coming out will have issues with being able to have any kind of self-confidence. So we can work with that as well. We're going to the reentry facilities. We're trying to go to the FCIs to do some really good outreach. And we understand a lot of people aren't going to stay in West Virginia, that they're going to reenter and then they're going to leave. And that's fine too, because we can follow them for 12 months, make sure that they have a warm handoff to whatever state and region within that state. And part of our job is to make sure that they're getting those services, not just lip service. So we're here to really change the environment for folks reentering. And I'm based out of Morgantown, and I'll pass it to Phil to fill in any gaps that I left.
Good morning. Thank you for having us here today. I can't say much more than what Wes has already told you. We're relatively new. This grant is a federal grant, and we'll be working in St. Albans, West Virginia, and of course in Clarksburg, West Virginia, for the RRC facilities, and trying to get men and women good jobs, and hopefully we can help them along the way. And again, thank you very much for allowing us to attend. I can't say any more than what he's already said. And I am not sure who has not gone. Aaliyah Tanner.
Hello. Most of you have probably seen me in these council meetings before, but in case you haven't, my name is Aaliyah Tanner. I work for Disability Rights of West Virginia. We are the federally mandated protection advocacy group for people with disabilities in the state. Every state is federally required to have a protection advocacy group. We just happen to be West Virginia's. My focus and the programs that I specifically advocate in is what's called CAP, which is Client Assistance Program, and PABS, which is beneficiaries of people receiving Social Security benefits. A lot of the work though is in CAP, which works specifically with Division of Rehab Services, which is a vocational rehabilitation agency that works with people with disabilities to remove barriers to employment. I did put our website and my email and our phone number in the chat. I recommend anybody and everybody going to that website because we have lots and lots of resources for people to be able to self-advocate. And information. Our services are free of charge. It doesn't matter the disability. We follow the ADA standard. And there is no income, there is no age, nothing. There's no criteria that you have to meet to get our services, other than it has to be within one of our programs and it has to be disability related. If you would contact us and we, for some reason, it doesn't fall within something that we can do, we do refer you to the agency or the group that can. We don't just say, sorry, good luck. We do refer you to where you need to be. If you guys have any questions, you're more than welcome to email me or call me. And because I work with Division of Rehab Services so closely, and I see somebody that I work with a lot, and he can definitely give more details as far as what Rehab Services does, is Richard Ward. I'll call on him next.
I knew that was coming, Aaliyah. Thank you very much. And I do think it's a good tie-in. So yeah, we definitely work closely together. And like Aaliyah said, I'm Rich Ward. I'm with the Division of Rehabilitation Services. We serve individuals with disabilities of all kinds to help them plan and prepare for suitable employment. And we also serve individuals with disabilities who have criminal convictions or felony convictions or who are justice involved. Just to be clear, having one of those convictions or being justice involved does not equate a disability, but I think we all can agree that most people who are justice involved or become justice involved do in fact have some type of a disability, be it learning disability, substance use disorder, mental health condition, traumatic brain injury. I've said many times that the CDC did a study several years ago, and they found that up to 87% of individuals who are incarcerated had head injuries. So I think that's huge, and that's something I think we need to look at. So in my opinion, most individuals who are justice involved would qualify for the services of the division. That's not a guarantee that because there does have to be that documented physical or mental disability. But I think that that's certainly there. So definitely employment and disabilities are the two key words that you have to think about when you want to refer someone to us. One quick thing that I want to say is one project that I've been working on is our PRSS on the job training program. Several months ago, we were approached by the Bureau for Behavioral Health asking us to help them meet a need where they were finding that individuals who wanted to become a peer recovery support specialist were having trouble completing that 500 hours of clinical experience because lots of agencies who employ PRSSs weren't able to pay them while they were, within that 500 hours. So they were struggling to do that. So we've been able to utilize what we call our on-the-job training program to reimburse the employer for the individual's salary. So we've done a lot of those, and that's been a real successful project. What I want to do now is create a very comprehensive list of anybody in the state that employs PRSSs. So be it an emergency department, a behavioral health clinic, a recovery house, a home, day report center, anything like that. I mean, I know there are several lists out there and I have a good list started, but if anybody can help me, point me in the right direction, to contact individuals, particularly within day report. I really don't have a good idea of what day report centers are employing PRSSs and also emergency departments. So if anybody can help me with that, please shoot me an email. My email's in the chat. I would like to develop that list. Or if you know a list that already exists that I can combine with my list. And I'm always happy to answer questions or respond to emails. So just let me know if you need anything.
Hey, Rich.
Yes, Danica.
If you give me a call and let me know specifically what you need with some of the day reports, I have some information. So
Cool. All right, great. Thank you, Danica.
You're welcome.
And so I'll go ahead and call on you, Danica.
I kind of figured that was coming. My name is Danica Brown. I work for the West Virginia Division of Corrections and Rehabilitation. My department falls under the Bureau of Community Corrections, and I work in offender services. Basically, we assist our offenders. I assist our offenders with housing, but I also network them with resources that are represented on the reentry councils. Sometimes they have recovery needs that require them to have specific recovery housing, and we also try to make sure that they keep up with their meetings and recovery resources once they've been released, because we want them to maintain their sobriety. And I also connect them with day reports to finish some of their programming in the community, so that way they don't have to stay in longer than necessary. If they just need to complete a program they can do in the community. while working and getting back to being a productive citizen. Who hasn't gone because I was off, because I was on a call? Whoever hasn't gone, that person can go.
I think Keith and Kenny.
Kenny, you raised your hand. Go ahead, Big Cat.
Yeah, I'll go ahead. So my name is Kenny Matthews. I'm the West Virginia Economic Justice Associate for American Friends Service Committee. So I do work throughout the entire state, as far as legislative policy, community outreach, engagement. I'm currently working on getting our second look initiative out for those that are incarcerated that have spent 10 years or more incarcerated and were sentenced between the ages of 18 and 25. We're basing our policy off of a DC policy where those that have been sentenced to long periods of incarceration between the ages of 18 and 25, typically, according to stats, age out of crime. Also, that their cognitive function isn't completed until technically after 25, and it's more so with males than it is females, unfortunately. And that we're trying to get legislation passed this year where a judge or the sentencing court, because sometimes it's a different judge after so much time has passed, can reevaluate a person's sentence and decide whether or not incarceration is still warranted based on who the individual is now versus who they were when they were initially sentenced. And it's really giving credence to the fact that people do change and people do act differently than they were when they're 18, 20, 25. I know I do. So I am a completely different person from when I was that age, and it only makes sense that if we really evaluate sentences based on what is needed versus who we're mad at. And I think that's what we're trying to get the legislation to really look at. Is this person really needing to be incarcerated? Statistically, it costs the state at least $48,000 a year to incarcerate an individual, and we have an aging DCR population with over 1,000 individuals in the DCR age 50 and above, so much so that they started, quote unquote geriatric units in a few facilities in the state, which is costing the state even more money. And, we have individuals that have been incarcerated for 30, 40 years that are in wheelchairs that have to be pushed around by orderlies to go to chow hall and get commissary and things like that. So how can we really say that this person is a danger to society when they can't even take care of themselves within a facility? So last year we introduced the bill, secured a sponsor for it, and unfortunately we kind of had to sacrifice the bill. There was approximately 4 death penalty bills that was also slated to be heard in committee, and we sacrificed our second look sentencing to also effectively kill those bills last year. So with it being, getting past the election diatribes of being tough on crime for this next session, we're hoping to actually get some movement on our legislation. So I'm in the process of interviewing individuals and family members of those that are, whether they're currently incarcerated, formerly incarcerated, and done significant time, or friends and family members of those types of individuals, to basically get their stance on second look policy and create kind of a booklet for legislators and showing who people really are. So that's a project that I'm working on. I'm also working on establishing kind of a podcast for those formerly incarcerated called Really Free Talk. And it's going to be a roundtable discussion where, because I myself am formerly incarcerated and I know the need to have some real honest conversations and the ability to kind of like say how we feel and give our opinion on things that are going on, whether it's the elections or whether it's community events or whether it's just, navigating things in life. I think it would be beneficial to have kind of a roundtable discussion and let people talk and say what's working, what's not working. I think a lot of times in organizations we look at deliverables and look at this is how many people we served and this is what they're doing now, and not really look at the process that somebody's going through in doing that. And sometimes people don't feel comfortable saying, hey, this is difficult for me. I'm not really understanding this. They just go through the process because they're told, this will help them, and without having a whole lot of understanding of it. So those are just a couple of projects we're working on. Again, we have, as mentioned earlier, we have Leading for Justice coming up. It's going to be January 12th through the 14th at John the 23rd in Charleston. And I will put my contact information in the chat as well, and subscribe to the listserv because this was forwarded to me, so I decided to hop on, and so I'll subscribe to the listserv. But there will be a video and registration link coming out soon for that event that could be passed along to people, to other organizations, to get registration. And for those that are justice impacted, we try to keep the cost to nothing for those individuals that are justice impacted. They can come for free, and we try to do that for as many people as we can. But we understand, some people come from an organization that can afford to pay something. So we really look to those individuals that can afford to pay for the conference to do so, or in their organization, or maybe even sponsor a couple people that can come, kind of thing. So more information on that will be coming out. Hopefully, I believe we have it slated that registration will be starting on October 1st. We'll have a promotional video with myself doing the voiceover. So if it's not good, please don't let me know. But um, I think it will be pretty good. We also, in partnership with the Reach Initiative, myself, a coworker of mine, Joanna Vance, Beverly Sharp, as well as the Council of Churches, are partnering together to do some listening sessions throughout the state, community listening sessions around second look sentencing, around incarceration, and really having family members, those formerly incarcerated, do so. We're looking to do at least have one listening session, one community listening session around in the community where every facility in the state is at, and a couple juvenile facilities, which is an exhaustive list. There's actually more juvenile facilities that are slated as juvenile facilities than we even knew. We knew the big ones, but there's actually more. So we're looking to do 18 to probably 20 these community listening sessions, and we're currently in the phase of planning and organizing it and seeing who would host those listening sessions in their communities. And So I'll send out more information on that as well to the group. And as always, if there's anything that, I could be a part of, in recovery, formerly incarcerated. I do this work, legislative advocacy, and I'd be more than happy to come to events, extend support, send people to events, or disseminate information throughout the networks that we've developed here at AFSC, and also just bump up the work that we're doing here in West Virginia. Sometimes the national narrative is how bad we are. We're 14th highest in the world in our rate of incarceration per capita. We have the overdose capital of the world, but there doesn't seem to be a lot of disseminating on the positive information and the good things that we're doing collectively here in the state. So we definitely like doing that as well. So that is me. I guess Keith is the only one that hasn't gone. So I guess I'll pass it to Keith Bowling.
Before
Good
Keith
morning,
pops on, oh, sorry, Keith. I just
No,
wanted
go
to
ahead.
say, Kenny, you just dropped so much good information. I'm so glad that you hopped on here. I'm going to reach out to you after the meeting, but thank you so much for being on here, because that was a lot of information that I didn't know. So I appreciate you. Sorry, Keith, go ahead.
Not a problem. Good morning, everybody. Keith Bowling with Aetna Better Health. We are one of the Medicaid providers for the state. So after a incarcerated individual comes through reentry and gets back out into, whatever that reentry plan is going to look like for them, we are one of the providers that they can choose if they do, in fact, qualify for Medicaid services.
Well, awesome. Thank you guys so much. Man, I have a whole notepad full of information here. I feel like this was a really informative meeting. Excuse me. I did want to say that you all are just so inspiring. You make me want to get out and do more, be more involved. I'm already stretched real thin, but I still want to go do more. And you guys are absolutely changing and saving lives. And I appreciate everything you guys are doing for your community. Excuse me, I'm getting over COVID, so so you'll have to excuse me. But I'm very appreciative of all of you hopping on here. And I'll go ahead and give it to Krisha and see if she has anything else. I don't really have anything else to add, except for if you want to sign up for Save a Life Day for Raleigh County, reach out to me. We still have quite a few volunteer spots open. Just let me know, and it's going to be September 26th. Sorry. And I wanted to ask, is Seth still on here?
Yes.
Okay. You had said that, that the open house was on the 23rd and the flyer says the 24th.
Yeah. Caught that. Yes, it's Tuesday, the 24th. I'm sorry.
The 24th. Okay. Okay. I just wanted to make sure that it was the correct day, that it was Tuesday. Okay. Thank you so much. Appreciate you. Okay. Appreciate.
You traveled all over the place, Seth, so you're like us. Where are we when? So
Yeah, literally, we have one in Bluefield on the 23rd, so that's where the confusion came from.
The only other one thing, Amanda, you had mentioned, inviting more people and remembering what we do. So, Amanda, if you have participants and people that you meet with that would like to join the reentry councils, this meeting is for them. And I don't like the us and them. We are a we. So please, invite them to join the reentry councils. I dropped the link over there. It's just a simple Google form that, you click on it, you fill out your information. You can join as many or all of the reentry councils as you want, and you'll receive the Zoom link a week prior to, and then the morning of the council meeting with, with the link that they can join. But, please invite, people with SUD or that are justice involved and justice impacted that, I want to invite them to the table. This is their table too.
Absolutely. I think that's very empowering for you to say so. and again, on breaking stigma, individuals that have had a history of substance use or mental health, sometimes very likely are impacted by the justice system in one way or another. So I think that is a perfect fit to invite them to the table and have their voices be heard. And I actually was looking for a little bit more information on the referral process. I did have contact previously, but some things have shifted with you all. So I'll be reaching out to find a way to connect some of my patients.
Perfect. And, like we say, not everybody in reentry is in recovery, but everyone in recovery is in reentry of some way. So
Amen.
That's all I've got. Bonnie with a Y, you're the presenter next month, so I'm excited to see what you've got.
Yes, looking forward to being able to share and hopefully be able to have some partnerships to allow the college to do more with people who are incarcerated.
All right, Madam Chair, nominee.
Wonderful. Well, thank you guys so much. Oh man, I had our next meeting written down, but I lost the paper. I'm so sorry. Do you have the date right off, Krisha? I might be able to get it. The 14th, I believe. Oh, no, the 21st. I'm so sorry. The 21st. Is that what you have? Okay. I just wanted to make sure. So our next meeting is going to be on the 21st. And same time, same place. And thank you all for coming. I really enjoyed this meeting. If anybody has any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. I think my phone number is in the chat. That's probably the best way to get a hold of me. Or email as well. I can throw that in the chat really quick as I'm talking. But I really, really appreciate all of you. And I do thank you for everything that you're doing for the community. You all are rock stars. And I'm really, really glad to be a part of all of this. So I guess we'll see you next month.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you so much for
Yeah.
having me.
Thank you, Amanda.